Okay, we got 19 tips in the kitchen to help you extract the most nutrients from your food. Try to avoid these mistakes.
Or do these things.
All
right, I'm Dr. Paul Zalza.
I'm Dr. Brad Wiening. Welcome to Talking with Docs. This is a channel where we try to improve your health through a bunch of different suggestions, and then you take them, then you decide what you're gonna do.
Right, take them or leave them. Leave a comment if you like.
Okay, so number one for me is crush the garlic when you're in the kitchen, or cut it or dice it, and then wait 10 or 15 minutes to allow the release of one of the most important molecules that's in there, something called allicin. Has strong anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, antimicrobial properties. I actually have a video all about garlic, so 10 to 15 minutes, let the garlic chill for a little bit after you cut it.
Nice.
Okay.
My next one is sulforaphane.
Okay.
You cook with that?
So indirectly, I do, yes.
Okay, and that comes from your broccoli.
And I think this tip is going to be one that most people don't know.
No, and no one has enough time to do this. Cut your broccoli 40 minutes ahead of time to allow the sulforaphane to form, because it's a powerful antioxidant and has been shown in the lab to reduce cancer formation.
Which is amazing that actually cutting into small little pieces is actually better for it, and you got to do it ahead of time.
40 minutes.
That's number two. Okay.
That's the whole meal prep time and eating time for me.
Yeah, you need to call the kids.
And
Can you guys cut the broccoli? Get working on the broccoli.
Yeah.
Okay, so number three is cooking certain foods to release some of their active components, particularly things like tomatoes and carrots. So eating them raw definitely has benefit, but if you cook a tomato, it releases the lycopene, makes it more bioavailable, and for carrots, beta-carotene. These both have significant health benefits, so cooking them makes them better for you.
All right, cooking's good.
Yeah.
When you're cooking, or on the stovetop, try and
don't go on the stovetop.
Steam stuff instead of boiling it.
Totally agree.
Boiling water is hot. Steam is even hotter. What's that from?
I don't know.
The bamboo steamer.
Oh, okay.
You get a free set of Ginsu knives with it. Leave a comment if you remember the bamboo steamer.
Okay.
But steaming obviously gets to a hotter temperature.
Sure.
Because boiling water can only get to 100.
Yes.
Unless you add salt
Celsius.
to it.
Yep.
100 Celsius, or you add salt to it, then you get boiling point elevation. You can get a little bit hotter. Did you know that?
I think I did know that.
Did you know that it also causes freezing point depression? That's
yes,
why we put
I
it on
did.
the ice. Anyways, if you steam something, you're not going to lose a lot of nutrients in the boiling water.
Agreed. Yeah, I love that idea.
Steam it.
Okay.
Don't boil it.
So number five is, I didn't know this one, rinse your rice, because all rice actually has arsenic, which is terrifying. It's taken up from the water in the soil. Certain rices actually have more arsenic. So basmati and jasmine have the lowest levels, and you can actually soak it or rinse it multiple times to get the arsenic levels lower.
Eat a bowl of rice, die.
I know, it's crazy. I did not know that.
Okay, obviously it must be extremely low amounts.
Yes, because lots of people eat rice.
Everyone.
And I've never rinsed my rice, and I'm still here.
All right, number 6.
Yep.
Consider adding some citrus, like lemon juice, to your greens.
Tastes so good. Is that why you're doing it?
No, because the vitamin C aids with the absorption of the iron you're going to get from your spinach or kale. Sorry, Popeye.
Right.
You've been doing it all wrong.
Especially for the non-heme iron, the non-animal-based irons. It's hard to get that up, so the vitamin C helps with that. That's
right,
awesome.
and you need your iron if you're vegan, because you're not going to get enough meat to get your iron.
Right.
All right, so add that vitamin C in the form of some citrus, some lemon juice, and a lot of people do that in their salad. I squeeze a little bit of lemon juice on my Caesar salad.
So good, so good. Okay, number 7, keep your potatoes stored in a dark area. So when your potatoes are in the light, they start to sprout, they start to turn green. Actually, even when you're growing potatoes, if you don't hill them, I learned this over as I've grown potatoes at our house.
Brad.
Yeah, is if they're exposed to the air, they start to turn green. And the green and the sprouting increases a compound called solanine that actually is toxic to us, can cause diarrhea, GI upset, and other things like that. So if you have green or sprouted potatoes, consider not eating them, and store your potatoes in a dark area so that they don't form.
Respect your potatoes.
Yes.
Okay, the next one we're going to talk about is avoid peeling. Do not be a peeler. Don't be a peeler.
Okay, don't.
When you can, keep the skin on fruits or vegetables, because a lot of nutrients are in the skin. That's why when I go to the bar, I always get potato skins.
Okay, nice logic. Okay,
I don't get potato skins.
Okay, so minimal peeling.
Yeah.
And some people would say if you have to peel, consider using those peels for something else, like repurposing them because they got a lot of nutrients in them.
There you go.
Okay.
Potato skins.
Number 9, don't overheat your oils. We've talked about this before. Use oils with a high smoke point, right? So avocado oil, refined olive oil actually is like 565 instead of 500, because when you overheat them, the healthy compounds start to break down, as well as it creates smoke, which is simply just not good for us.
Smoke. So now you know a chemical reaction's been happening, right?
Yes,
As opposed to just heating something.
Right.
The smoke is forming, that's another compound is forming there.
Yeah.
So you have a chemical reaction, so you're changing the chemistry of the thing you're using.
Exactly.
and that's bad for that oil.
Okay.
The next one, oligosaccharides. Ugly word, ugly thing to have.
Yeah.
They come from your beans.
Okay.
All right. And one way to reduce those is to cook your beans with a bay leaf. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
I don't even know what a bay leaf is.
A bay leaf, I put it in our chili when we make chili. It's just
Right.
like a leaf that just adds flavor.
That grows in the bay,
Yeah.
San Francisco Bay.
Yeah. Number 11, blanch your vegetables before you freeze them. So things like spinach and beans and peas, if you blanch them quickly, so cooking them for a short period of time and then cooling them and then putting them in the freezer, it actually helps preserve some of their color, some of their texture, as well as their nutrients.
Because I have so much time when I
Yeah,
prepare
when you're
dinner.
getting ready for the winter.
That's it.
Yeah.
All right, the next one is spices. Use spices liberally. There's a lot of good evidence that certain spices they make supplements out of them, things like turmeric and that, and lots of positive health benefits from many of the spices that we use.
Okay, agreed. Number 13 is pair your foods that have high amounts of fat-soluble vitamins, so A, D, E, and K, with your healthy fats. So consider adding things like avocado or olive oil to meals that have high vitamin A, D, E, and K.
The fat one.
Yeah, because you want more fat to help absorb the fat vitamins.
Who would have thought?
Fat on fat.
We'd be telling you to eat fat.
I know, go figure. Healthy fats, though.
All right. The next one is one I will never do. It's sprouting your grains and legumes, because you got to stick them in water for like 1 to 3 days till they start to sprout.
Yep.
That's not going to happen in my household.
No, but it increases the nutrients that you get from those grains. It also reduces something called anti-nutrients like phytic acid that reduce the absorption of these things. So ironically, even though you have good things in the plants, there are other things in the plants that prevent you from kind of uptaking them.
Yeah, sprout away, Brad.
Sprout away. Number 15 is use minimal water when you boil your vegetables. So interestingly, I didn't know this either. If you're going to, say, boil your broccoli, you want to use as little water as possible, so just have it covered, because if you use tons of water, the gradient of nutrients from the broccoli to the water is a really steep gradient, so more of the nutrients leave the broccoli, whereas if you use a small amount of water, as the nutrients go to the broccoli and fill the water, then it's like osmosis.
It's Fick's law of diffusion.
Yeah.
Laws of diffusion, yeah.
I didn't know that. So, and then the other thing too is, if you can, try to repurpose that water, because that water has nutrients in it. So if you're going to make your own broth or something like that.
Yeah.
Like when you make broth.
All the time.
A lot of homemade broth.
That's why I have the homemade broth going on right now, actually.
Yeah. Okay,
I gotta go.
Your grains are sprouting, your broth's cooking.
Yeah. This meal is going to take 17 days to prepare, but it's going to be the healthiest meal you've ever had.
Okay, number 16, back to you.
The next one is grind your flaxseed before eating it.
I bet you do that.
So the seed itself isn't extremely digestible. So you got to aid with the digestion of the flaxseed.
Or you can just buy it ground. It comes that way.
Or you could chew it a long time before it goes down your esophagus.
Okay, that's number 16. Number 17 is chill your complex starches. So your potatoes and your rice, if you cook them and then let them sit for a couple of hours or even eat them the next day, it actually changes the starch formation to make it a starch that's harder to digest, and actually it almost becomes like a fiber-like substance, so that it will spike your glucose less. I did not know this, so leftovers after turkey dinner are actually better for you, and they won't spike your glucose as much.
Really? I did not know that. So I'm preparing Friday's meal today, and it's Wednesday.
It's a busy week.
It's going to be a week of grinding flaxseed.
Okay.
Okay, the next one. Worried about your tannic and your phytic acids, Brad?
A little bit. Those are anti-nutrients that reduce absorption of things like iron, calcium, that kind of stuff, zinc.
That stuff. You know how you can reduce it?
I don't.
Soak your nuts. That's low-hanging fruit. Don't make a joke about that.
Okay.
Soak your nuts and seeds.
Right, because essentially rinses some of them away.
Wash it away so that those phytic acids don't make you unfit.
Okay, and the last one is avoid overwashing your produce. So obviously it's critical, especially in a day when a lot of chemicals are used, pesticides, herbicides, unless you're buying strictly organic. It's critical to wash them, but don't soak them for long periods of time and don't overwash them, because actually you can wash away some of the nutrient benefit that's there.
Right. Don't take them in the shower with you.
No, and specifically for mushrooms, don't soak your mushrooms. It makes them soggy. Either have a small brush or like a damp cloth or a paper towel or something. Don't soak your mushrooms.
But they always got dirt on them, so you
They do, so it's important to clean them, just don't soak them.
Don't soak
Otherwise
them.
they get soggy.
That's right. Nobody wants soggy mushrooms.
And actually another thing about your mushrooms, if you're gonna cook them, put a little salt when you cook them, because what the salt does, it pulls out the water, and then you don't end up with soggy mushrooms when you put them like on a pizza.
Like a spongy mushroom.
Yeah.
All right.
There you go. Now you know it's not a top 20, it's a top 19.
Top 19.
It's a pretty good list. If you have any specific tips, because I guarantee our viewers are amazing and they're going to have lots of these similar kind of tips, please share them.
Yeah.
Again, this is just something for you to extract the most nutrient benefit out of the healthy food choices that you've made.
That's it.
Now you know. If you like this video, please like and subscribe to our channel.
And remember, you are in charge of your own health.
We'll see you next time.
Go soak your nuts.